welcome back to episode 3 of our discussion on how to create certainty, how to create confidence in uncertain times. Welcome back, Arrington. Welcome back, Rachel. Welcome back, Momo. It's great to have you here with us. If you didn't get a chance, for those of you that are watching that didn't get a chance to see episode 2, we would strongly recommend going back. Arrington, Rachel, and Momo opened up those situations of uncertainty that they had, and we extracted some deep Kabbalistic secrets from them. We learned about certainty. We learned about how to develop it. Go back and hear it if you didn't yet hear it. If you're watching episode 3 right now, you came here for the juice. You came here for the secrets and for the tools, how to deal with uncertainty in the moment that you're feeling uncertain. What are some things you can tell yourself, some mantras, some questions you can ask yourself? How do you guys get through those moments of uncertainty? Whoever wants to go first can go.
Okay, I'll go first.
Rachel, take it away.
So I'm a big fan of mantras and affirmations. I love that. I think that really helps me just repeat it over. But the biggest thing anytime I'm going through an obstacle is knowing that it's here to help me grow, knowing that it's the best, that there's some lesson, something. What I say to myself, I say like something is, I need to learn from this somehow. You know, it's everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for the best. That's kind of something I tell myself. Also for my situation, I don't know if this applies to everybody, but a big thing for me was like, because I was lazy, right? And I want to take the easy way out. And now it's like, okay, I actually have to go get up and, you know, make it happen. I started learning it's okay to be a little uncomfortable. Because only with uncomfort can you really grow. Like what, you know, David, you mentioned in the other episode 2, that change, sometimes we need a change. And the only way to do that is to be a little uncomfortable in an obstacle. So also realizing that helps me those two.
The discomfort is part of the process, but I'm going to put you a little bit to work right now. While Momo and Arrington are sharing, you said you love mantras. You gave us a couple really cool things that you tell yourself it's all for the good. So I want you to come up with a mantra for all of the people that are watching while Arrington or Momo are going on that kind of really sums up into a beautiful package what you tell yourself. Whenever you go through that challenging situation. So get your mind working. And Momo, Arrington, how do you guys face that challenge? Face that uncertainty?
So for me, it was all about finding courage. And the way I was able to do that was first understanding what I needed to do. And that was, you know, a year or two-year long process. And that was done by asking myself questions and understanding how I feel and taking some time away from, you know, the day-to-day activities that pull our minds away from answering those questions for myself, or at least thinking about them. Once I've done that, for me, the next step was making sure I wasn't crazy, right? Because we can kind of be in our heads a lot and think one way or another, but I really wanted to talk it out with people, whether it was my mom, close friends, mentors of mine, people in the industry as well, just to make sure that my head was where it should be and to get some additional confirmation for myself. And that's what kind of gave me courage is once I confirmed it for myself and when I confirmed it from other people, that gave me the courage to say, okay, I think I need to make a shift, right? I need to make a move. And having that courage allowed me to do that and be able to make that shift pretty quickly.
Powerful.
Once I did that.
Powerful. So now I'm going to put you to work while Momo's answering the question. And I want you just to come up with 2 questions that you can share with everybody that's watching. 2 of the best questions that you ask yourself when you get into that uncertain time that can lead you back to the light, right? Because you could say, why is this happening to me? That's a question, but it's not a good one. And it definitely is not going to get you to a place of growth or transformation. But questioning is an amazing tool to get yourself out of the darkness. So just while Rachel's thinking about hers, and I'll put you to work and you'll think about what are the 2 best questions that you can ask yourself to get from a place of darkness to light. And then we'll hear Momo's awesome tools to get him out of moments of uncertainty.
So I actually have 3, but they're fairly fast. So the first one is to remember the proof is in the pudding, right? So up until a certain point in your life, you have some life experience. And if you look back, if you try, you'll be able to see times where you were uncertain or a situation didn't look great, but it actually turned out for the better. some people will have to try a lot harder than others because whatever, it might be farther in the past, you know, might be less obvious, but it's there. And once you find that, it'll really help you to be like, okay, I see how that situation turned out. It was a good, you know, good thing it happened in the long run. Yes, it may have sucked in the moment, but overall, I'm glad it happened, right? So you take that. The next two are Kabbalistic tools. So in Kabbalah, we understand that there are 22 Hebrew or Aramaic letters that each have their own powerful energy. They each tap into like 22 different frequencies of energy, right? So the first one is a 3-letter combination, 3 Hebrew or Aramaic letter combination, which will pop up on the screen now, which are called Ayin, Resh, Yud, which is the power of certainty. It is one of the names of the Creator that we understand, helps us to, again, relearn, because we already had that childlike, like unbreakable certainty in ourselves and in the universe that everything would work out for us, that everything would be the best for us, right? It just helps us reawaken that energy that was already there, you know, that's just lying dormant in us. And the next
just
one,
for people that are thinking, oh, what are these Hebrew letters? And we're going to have future modules where we do a whole class about them and how to use them, etc. But what Momo's saying is just, if you look at these letters, it will help you to connect to that true certainty that already does exist within you that might have gone away. But I just wanted to jump in and say that we will do future classes about them if it's something that does excite you. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Just an additional to what David's saying is the same way you don't have to understand every single piece of the mechanic of a cell phone in order to use it, right? You just know that you have to dial and boom, you can call someone. It's the same thing with the letters. You don't have to understand exactly where they came from or what they do or who built them or made them or, you know, who manufactured this or anything like that. You just, you know, when you use technology, it works. You just have to know how to use it. And in this case, the only way to use it is just look at it. Just look at it. That's it. And that energy will help you awaken certainty. And there's another sequence of Hebrew letters is the 5th line in a 7-line connection that we have called the Ana B'Koach. The 5th line connects specifically to the power of certainty and seeing the bigger picture, to awaken like our third eye or our level of, so to speak, intuition, to help us see that there is a bigger picture, to know in those very uncertain times that there's a bigger picture. It's happening for my best. Nothing happens to me, everything happens for me, right? That kind of mentality, it helps us reawaken that. And so those are like,
so you use, whenever things get difficult for you, you use those 3 letters and that 5th line, those 6-letter sequences to help you to see the bigger picture and to reconnect. That's powerful. So did I interrupt you? Were you gonna say?
I was gonna say,
okay.
It's kind of like some people have a lucky charm that they carry with them. These are my lucky charms. These are what give me that reawakening of certainty energy.
Powerful. So let's go back to Rachel. Rachel, we're ready for the mantra.
I was thinking about it. I don't know if it's too long, but I think it sums up my thought process. But it's being uncomfortable and having a challenge is going to help me grow to become my best self.
Okay.
That's really what
being uncomfortable and having a challenge is going to help me grow into my best self.
Yeah.
Amazing mantra.
No pain,
you can say that
No pain,
no
gain,
pain, no gain.
Yeah.
I like Rachel's better, maybe not, but okay. Now, Arrington, what are some of the questions that you ask yourself to help you to identify, what's real, what's not, and to get through a challenge?
Yeah, the first is, am I happy, or what will make me happy? Because I think that's paramount over anything. And number two is actually related to Rachel's, which was, what is my best self, and what does that look like? Because I always wanted to try to attach myself to that. Whether it's in the future, and I've used this for other things too, which is not so serious, right? One time I had a ticket to a concert. I don't sponsor this for any teenager, but I had a test the next day, and I was freaking out because I said, you know what? I have to sell this ticket. I have to get an A on this test. If I go to this concert, I can't study, so then I won't do well, and I won't be able to go to these colleges and jobs, and started freaking out about a nonsense test. And so,
So when you ask yourself, "Are you happy?" I think many people would say, "Well, yeah, okay, go ahead."
Now listen, when I paused, I said, "What will make me happy? This test that I will never remember a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or this concert that I will go to? And what will be my best self? This test doesn't determine who I am and what I will become." So I went to the concert.
And how'd you do on the test?
I did fine. I did average.
You did good. Listen. There's a fine line to what Arrington is saying, right? It's important to ask yourself, "Are you happy?" It's important to ask yourself, "What would be my best self?" For many of us that don't study and like to push everything off, what would my best self be? It'd be to stay here and study. But knowing Arrington as his friend, knowing that he studied, he did all his homework.
You do that when you know yourself, exactly. If you're the type of person who never studies for anything and goes to concerts all the time, you actually need to do the opposite to attach to your best self.
Right. Arrington's super hard on himself. For those that don't know, he's super hard on himself. He sets super high expectations, never gets a bad grade. So to hear that he went to the concert is really shocking to me. But each one of us needs to ask this question. It was a big breakthrough for you. But I think if framed in another way, it's like, be happy. I mean, there's so many things that make me happy. The question is, what will make me happy long term? And the answer many times would be study for the test, do what's difficult in the moment, do what's uncomfortable. But for Arrington, what was uncomfortable was going through an experience with friends where I would normally say, forget experiences, let me do this hard work. You're a very hard worker. So I think a combination of what everybody said. Say it again.
It was the risk of failure. It was the risk of failure. That was that.
And for you, success is a very high bar. So with Rachel, right? So the tool is through the
back to Arrington real quick before we leave this. You said you asked like a lot of other people, a lot of questions, etc. Does that mean that you based what your perfected self or what your happiness looks like based off what other people said? Or
no, never.
What?
So what I used with other people was to confirm what I was already thinking.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So
I have a little voice inside of me. I call it intuition or myself. And I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these feelings. I can't really articulate it exactly. And that's when I look for outside support or conversations to confirm that little thing that I know is already true that's inside of me. And that's how I use other people. I never, and I would advise no one ever to use other people to make decisions for you. That's not what you should do. You should know what you want to do already and lean on people to confirm that it's either maybe a good idea or to add additional perspective or to think of something completely new that you didn't think of.
But the final say is you.
Right, 100%.
I think it's important to keep in mind the first say is you. You need to think, what do I want? What will make me happy? What is my intuition telling me? What is my soul telling me? You can go to others and say, what do you think about what my soul is telling me? Where I see many people go wrong is that they don't want to think about what it is for themselves. So they ask all their friends, and that's a false sense of certainty. 30 friends said I should do this. That doesn't mean that you should do this. If your soul, if you connected with yourself and you said, I'm really feeling I should leave this toxic environment, but I know that I've worked so many years to get here, but I feel like it's not good for me. Deep down, every day I go to work, I feel it. Then I ask my mentors and say, something's up. What should I do? And they confirm it. Then the final decision is also you. It's like a you sandwich or a friend sandwich. You yourself
still need to go through the process. Right? A lot of people ask other people because they don't want to go through the process, right? They want to say, hey, just tell me what to do. That way they can skip that process, but you still need to go through that.
Yeah. So but also, friends, just to add, just make sure that you're asking people who actually want what's best for you, not somebody you call a friend that you are kind of doubtful what their intentions are towards you. Like a parent always wants the best for you. You're maybe siblings, maybe you have like a
spiritual
really
teacher,
best friend, a spiritual teacher, mentor, just even like a school teacher you're really close with, or somebody that they really, really just want the best for you. They want to see you happy and successful. Those are the people to ask. Just not like
100%
random friends who are like, yeah, you could do it, go for it. But it's like they don't actually care. They didn't hear the question. They're just there to make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to sum up, because we had a lot of tools, which is a good thing, because I think this is a big thing that people face, the uncertainty. Rachel, give us your mantra.
Being uncomfortable and having a challenge um, is going to help me get to my best self.
Arrington, give us your questions.
What will make me happy, and how can I attach myself to the best version of myself?
What does the best version of myself look like, and how can I attach myself to it? Momo, you gave us some Kabbalistic tools, and that's what's beautiful about Kabbalah, is that if you connect to Arrington's, use Arrington's. If you connect to Rachel's, use Rachel's. A mantra. If you connect to wisdom, if you connect to questions, and then if you connect to the more mystical part, Momo, give us your tools.
One, the proof is in the pudding. Look back, realize that, you know, everything happens for the best. Two is the Ayin Resh Yud, the 3-letter combination, and then the 5th line of the Ana B'Koach, which is the 6 words that you see as well. But also, one more thing just popped into my mind to add to this is some people think that, you know, certainty is like, oh, I got to wait for this to happen to me. I have to like see the uncertainty in order to become certain. No. You can become certain immediately, whether you have a stressful or lax situation. You just have to remember it's a matter of you're not depending on anybody external to be happy. You're not depending on anything external. It's just I'm choosing to be the cause in my life, and I'm also choosing to know, not to believe, but to know. Well, that's the highest level, is to know. But you got to start with believing and, you know, trying to believe that the universe has only my best at heart and is working constantly 24/7, moving all the pieces and the people and the situations around to get me to my best self. Like the GPS, you miss a route, great, it's still working immediately as fast as it can to find you still the fastest path to your destination.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Momo. Thank you, Arrington. Thank you, Rachel, for your stories, your tools, your tips. Thank you, all of you, for watching. We hope that these tools can support you through the moments of uncertainty and really guide you back to the light. We hope to see you in future topics. And thank you so much. Wishing you all the best and lots of blessings.